Welcome back to the Jet Center. I'm Tyson Rauch. The New York Jets preseason has come and gone, and now we're ready for the regular season this Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Before we go into our season preview, just want to update the roster cuts the Jets made. Aaron Maiden was cut, which was kind of surprising, figuring that the Jets may need some pass rush help, but I guess Rex Ryan didn't see enough from him. The Jets acquired Kevin O'Connell to help replace Greg McElroy, who was put on the IR as he was injured in the last preseason game. All in all, 10 more moves are probably made before the season starts, so you can't really analyze every roster, every waiver wire claim, every move. I think that's going to be like a revolving door at this point. So don't get too attached to one player because they could be gone in a day or two. In terms of the season preview, it's a pretty exciting time to be a Jets fan. All the pieces are in place. It could be a very exciting season. Expectations are high. Now it's just a matter of putting this on paper on the field. Starting out with the offense, the team is only go as far as Mark Sanchez takes them. That's no secret. We all know that Sanchez has to improve his completion percentage. He has to become a more consistent player. A lot of that could rely on offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, we can't see Mark Sanchez go 5 for 13 every first half. He's got to get in rhythm early. He's got to feel comfortable. He's got to feel comfortable with the play calling. So if Schottenheimer doesn't do that, it could be a problem for him. I mean, Sanchez is still young. He still has a lot to learn. But I think that Schottenheimer has to give him quick slant plays, get Dustin Keller involved early on, and then Sanchez he'll feel more comfortable. He can get the ball down the field. So I think they got to work together. They got to be better. But the bottom line is the Jets' offense and the Jets as a team will only go as far as Mark Sanchez takes them. In terms of the running backs, it's a lot of responsibility pinned on Sean Green. Sean Green in the past has battled some injuries. He's battled a fumbling problem, but this is his year to shine. He's going to get the bulk of the carries. He's a powerful running back. He could wear defense down. So if everything goes as planned, Sean Green should have a huge year. That's a good little sleeper for you, or a little point for you fantasy gurus out there. LaDainian Tomlinson, great in blitz pickup. He can be very valuable coming out of the backfield, catching the ball. And then you have backups, McKnight and Powell, which, they should be serviceable. In terms of wide receivers, Santonio Holmes is going to be a star. I mean, he got his big contract he wanted. He's taken on a leadership role. I think he's embraced it. I think he's going to have an excellent year. Plaxico is kind of an unknown. He has a lot of talent, but can he stay healthy? Can he, just for 16 games at least, can he be the big red zone threat the Jets need? Can he just be a big target over the middle? And then Derek Mason should move the chains. Derek Mason's a very reliable receiver, runs crisp routes. So on third down, I'm sure he's going to catch probably 60 or 70 balls this year. Tight end, Dustin Keller could be a Pro Bowl tight end if they let him be. Early in the season last year, Dustin Keller was Sanchez's go-to guy. Then as the season progressed, they stopped going to him. I have no idea why, but it has to change because if you spread the field out with 3 receivers, Dustin Keller is a mismatch for almost every linebacker and every safety in the NFL. He's a nightmare for a defensive coordinator. He's big, he's got good hands, and he's got good speed. So if the Jets can spread it out, get Dustin Keller going, get over the middle, then Plaxico can get open deep. I mean, it opens up all kinds of avenues for the Jets offense. So Dustin Keller should have a huge year. Again, it's up to Schottenheimer, it's up to Sanchez to get him the ball. In terms of defensive line, it should be one of the best in the NFL. They've got, Nick Mangold's an All-Pro, DeBrickashaw's a Pro Bowler, Brandon Moore should be a Pro Bowler, if not an All-Pro. The pieces are in place. Wayne Hunter is new, but I'm not too concerned about him because he can pick it up. He's got veterans around him. The only thing about the offensive line is that they need to dominate on a consistent basis. One week they'll maul somebody for 300 yards of rushing. The next week they get 40 yards. They need to impose their will on a weekly basis and dominate every team they play. Other than that, with the Jets offense, it's the red zone offense. No secret there. Last year the Jets were pretty pathetic in the red zone. Hopefully Plaxico will change that. Hopefully the play calling will change that. And hopefully Sanchez's experience will change that. I mean, you got to get 7 points on the board. You can't keep relying on field goals, especially when these games are getting close. The Jets should be blowing out teams and not waiting to the fourth quarter miracles or comebacks to win games. In terms of defense, the defense needs to be more consistent. And that's for saying is you shut down Tom Brady and then you get lit up by Chad Henne. So as a defense, as a unit, they need to be more consistent every week. Apply constant pressure, shut down the run, shut down the pass. Get out the field on third down. Last year the Jets struggled. It was 3rd and 18, 3rd and 20, and they're giving up big plays. get off the field in third down. That has to improve, and I think with everybody coming back, basically everybody coming back this year, that should improve. Jim Leonard coming back is going to be huge for the Jets defense. He's the brains of defense. He's the quarterback back there. I think they'll be fine. The pass rush, hopefully the Jets can generate a pass rush without selling out their souls to get there. The young defensive linemen like Muhammad Wilkerson, Kendrick Ellis, I mean, they have young guys that are incorporating into there. Hopefully they can help generate a pass rush, or at least clog up the middle where the linebackers can get through and make plays. I'd like to see Calvin Pace have a huge year. He's healthy for the first time. And this is actually the first home opener he's playing in, so it could be exciting times for Calvin Pace. He could have a monster year, especially if the defensive line can do their job. Jamal Westerman's getting a chance to be a pass rusher. Not really sure what to expect from him. Rex is selling us his goods, but we'll see what happens. You can tell me all you want in the papers about how good he is, but until we see it live on game day, I'm not a believer. Other than that, you'd like to see the corners play better. Kyle Wilson's getting a chance to take a bigger role. Marquise Cole's getting another chance to take on a bigger role. I mean, they traded away Dwight Lowry, which means that guys like Emmanuel Cooks can get a chance to play more. Brody Poole's going to be asked to play more. The corners, the safeties, have got to play better. You know, there's going to be, if the Jets can't get a pass rush, you could get exposed in coverage. So, as a unit, they got to play better. Having Cromartie come back is great, but you know what? The Jets could be a top 5 defense, or even better. So it just everybody's got to play their part, improve, communicate, get off the field in third down, and the defense should be fine. In terms of special teams, I mean, it's a kind of an unknown. TJ Connolly's the punter. I'm not really sold on him. I prefer the Jets had a veteran punter. With the new kickoff rules, field position is going to be at a premium, and I'm not sure if Connolly can produce on a consistent basis. Proof's in the pudding. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets replaced by a veteran kicker in a couple weeks, but I'd love to be wrong. Nick Folk comes back again this year. Nick Folk had a pretty good year last year. He'll make the kicks, the long ones. He'll shank a few ones, the short ones. It's give and take with him. I mean, I think kickers are a dime a dozen at this point. You never really know what to expect. I mean, you have a guy like Doug Bryans who's good, and then he shanks 2 in the playoffs, so you never know what to expect. But Nick Folk has a leg. He came up clutch last year in the playoffs, kind of. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. It's special teams. In terms of returners, the Jets are looking to Jeremy Curley to help out. Joe McKnight, could be Cromartie, could be Leonard, could be just a committee. You'll see what happens. I trust Mike Westhoff and who he decides, so I'm not really too concerned about that. So in general, I mean, if you think about it, the Jets have all the pieces in place. I mean, there could be some depth issues, of the offensive line. There could be some depth issues at linebacker, but overall, the pieces are in place. Have a very good year. My prediction is 11-5, which will probably not win the AFC East. I was hoping to say 13-3, but honestly, I think the Patriots are a better team, which kills me to say that, but I think it's the truth. Rex keeps preaching about getting a home playoff game, which would be great, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I mean, the goal should be a first-round bye. I honestly don't believe that's going to happen. In terms of the team MVP, I think this year's going to be Mark Sanchez. I think Sanchez is going to rise to the occasion and lead this team to a very good year, and he's going to play at a very high level for probably 65-66% completion percentage rate, and have just officially manage the offense. In terms of offensive MVP, I won't name Sanchez. I think it's going to be Santonio Holmes. I think Holmes is going to have a monstrous year. I honestly believe that he's a very explosive playmaker, that the Jets are going to game plan to have superb games. In terms of defense, I believe it's going to be David Harris. If the defensive line can get any kind of push in the middle, David Harris can lighten up ball carriers and lighten up quarterbacks. I mean, the guy he's a consistent tackler. He's a big hitter, and if anybody they can keep blockers off him, he'll have an all-pro year. So there you have it, everybody. That's my season preview. I hope you enjoy it. I'd like to thank everybody for your support and your feedback. It's been greatly appreciated. I'd like to thank one of my biggest supporters, the L7 Tailgate. They've been great. I'll be there all year long. Go to l7tailgate.com. It's a great tailgate. Sunday night should be a real good time, probably a pretty wild time. Also like to thank Fisticuffs Combat Gear for supporting me and sponsoring me. And I'd like to thank Joe Bastone for producing producing the website, producing these videos and everything else. So that's our season preview. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's go Jets.